Alright, so we're checking out the NewBeeDrone AcroBee65 brushless V4. So finally we have, I guess, what you call their general purpose tiny whoop, and this is their series that has the video transmitter that's got higher output power. And they've made a lot of improvements in this new version. So we got this purple setup here with the purple goober canopy and this cockroach frame, and it's a little bit different material. It has a little bit more give than the old cockroach frame, so I think they may have changed the formula, and it's been okay. I've had a few crashes, and it feels very similar to the Happy model or Beta FPV frame, so it might be a little bit lighter. About to see what the weight is. We have these I guess updated Flow 0802 motors, and these are 19,000 kV. I think it's the same as before. Finally, we have Express ELRS on board, so for those of you that had issues with FreeSky and fail safes, that should be gone now. This is also not an SPI receiver, it's a separate serial receiver, so you can update the Express ELRS firmware without having to worry about updating Betaflight, which is good. Additionally, you have one antenna here, the T antenna for the Express ELRS receiver, and then there's a UFL connector for that. And you have another antenna, this little one here, kind of hard to see, and that's another connector that's on the bottom with a smaller UFL connector. And the receiver is actually a diversity receiver with PA or power amplification. So yeah, I'd had no issues with any kinds of fail-safes or range and flying at the park and stuff. So if you were wanting a NewBeeDrone tiny whoop with Express ELRS, this is the one to get. This one's definitely not going to have any range issues. Additionally, they have the built-in video transmitter. It goes up to 400 milliwatts, but it's got something called Smart VTX or Smart Power. So it will adjust the power based on the temperature of the video transmitter. So if the temperature gets too hot, it'll reduce the power dynamically, so you don't overheat the board. That was another problem with the old flight controller. I believe the camera is the same as before. I don't notice any differences with the camera. It's the same BI camera, and it's still using the same old NewBeeDrone OSD. So it's like not really a Betaflight OSD. It's like it's a software OSD. It's actually run by the MCU on the flight controller. The ESCs are still 5 amps, but they are now BlueJay firmware now, so I think it's 0.016, and I think it's 96 kilohertz is the default now. So I think they have the RPM filter enabled in here, so it flies really nice. It's got the typical very good NewBeeDrone tune, no complaints, very locked in. It's a good general purpose whoop. It flew really well, and of course I flew it with the Nitro Nectar battery and also this Tattoo. Similar flight times in both of these, 3.5, 4 minutes. That really depends on how hard you're pushing it. And of course we're still stuck on the folded pin PH 2.0 connector and the micro USB connector here on the bottom, of course. And the same SH 1.0 plugs. So this is all standard stuff here. These little pads here are new. I think the Hummingbird had these as well. Alright, so this is now coming in at 24 grams. So if I remember right, this is probably like a 2 or 3 gram reduction in weight. It's been a while, and I don't have the V3 anymore, so I don't remember. So you'll have to go back and look at that old video. I don't remember myself, but this definitely seems like it's lighter than before, and that actually results in better performance in my opinion. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you're looking for, these upgrades, BlueJay firmware, Express ELRS, etc., now you have it, and it's a nice little package from NewBeeDrone, ready to go out of the box. Granted, it's still a little bit heavier than the Mobula 6 or the Mob Lite 6, which I think is the lightest tiny whoop out there that's bind and fly made by any, in terms of production. It's Happy models. I think that's around 20 grams, I believe. Obviously, you can custom build your own tiny whoops and start cutting plastic and stuff using custom canopies, 3D prints, all that kind of stuff, and even get it lighter. But this is, if you want something that's kind of no fuss, it's got built-in tune, ready to go out of the box, basically. I didn't do anything here. I just bound it to my transmitter, charged up the batteries, and flew it. And yeah, it's a pretty good experience overall if you just want something to buy into your transmitter and go and fly it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Link will be down in the video description if you want to check this out. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.